Cape Verde, an archipelago facing challenges located nearly 600 kilometers off Africa's west coast. Cape Verde is a nation of 10 islands in the Atlantic Ocean. Once a Portuguese colony, it gained independence in 1975. Known for its dramatic landscapes of rugged peaks and sweeping beaches, the name Green Cape is misleading, as much of the country grapples with arid conditions. Cape Verde is on the front lines of climate change, with severe water scarcity plaguing many areas. Rain is rare here. We're running out of water, locals often say. While some regions struggle with drought, others have access to abundant water, creating stark contrasts across the islands. Tourism drives Cape Verde's economy, contributing 25% to its GDP. Each year, four international airports welcome around 1 million visitors, most staying in large resorts. These all-inclusive hotels offer unlimited food and drinks, but the environmental cost of mass tourism is high. Sometimes, over 100 tourists visit in a single day, a local observes, suggesting a need for more sustainable visitor behavior. Despite the tourism boom, many Cape Verdeans see little economic benefit. The money stays with the hotels, one resident notes. Even the island's beaches are exploited, with locals in places like Ribeira da Barca risking their lives to extract sand from the sea for sale to construction companies. It's dangerous work. People have died, a sand collector explains. The nation also faces a waste crisis, with plastics washing ashore from across the globe, threatening marine life like sea turtles. They're fragile, and this pollution can kill them, an environmentalist warns. This is the hidden side of Cape Verde, rarely seen by tourists. In the village of São Pedro, fishermen unable to go to sea due to rough swells have turned to tourism. Young men like Florentino now guide visitors to see sea turtles. We've trained the turtles to come to us, he says, noting they feed them fish, altering their natural diet and migration patterns. For visitors like Denelson, a French tourist with Cape Verdean roots, the experience is thrilling but risky without life jackets. I trust them, but the waves are rough today, he admits. Overfishing by large European vessels, permitted since 2007, has depleted local fish stocks, pushing fishermen to rely on tourism. Without the turtles, we'd have no work, Florentino says. A single tour can earn enough to feed his family for a week.
Water scarcity remains a critical issue. The Poilau Dam, once a symbol of progress, now stands dry due to 2 years of insufficient rain. In Montenegro village, families rely on a single fountain managed by Martha, who rations water based on availability. When there's little water, we limit each family to one container, she explains. At 8 escudos, about €7 for 25 liters. Access is affordable but unreliable due to frequent pump failures. It's unbearable when it breaks down, a villager laments. In Praia, the capital, home to nearly 40% of Cape Verde's population, aging infrastructure causes frequent water cuts. Here, water vendors like Domingos thrive, delivering 1,000 liters for €7 to construction sites. In an area dubbed Tahiti for its lush greenery, a private well owned by Georgette supplies vendors, generating significant income. It's a good supplement to my salary, she says, declining to share specifics. To combat water shortages, Cape Verde has invested in desalination plants, like one managed by untold Cruz, which processes 20,000 cubic meters of water daily. However, the process discharges highly saline brine into the sea, harming marine ecosystems. The plant's diesel-powered operation consumes 52,000 liters of fuel daily, contributing to carbon emissions and making desalinated water costly. On Sal, a tourist hotspot attracting over 60% of visitors, luxury hotels like Rio create oases with lush gardens and massive pools, costing thousands of euros monthly to maintain. Manager Danielle Rossini explains that importing food from as far as the US and Vietnam keeps costs low, but this practice bypasses local suppliers. What tourists pay stays with the hotels, a former hotel worker, Anderson, complains, noting low wages of 7 to 10 euros per day. Sal Shark Bay draws crowds to see baby lemon sharks, lured by guides with fish. This has raised concerns among environmentalists like Dennis, who works with an NGO tracking the sharks' movements. Feeding them disrupts their natural behavior, he warns, as tourist numbers are set to rise by 30%. On Santiago, illegal sand extraction by women like Salid in Ribeira da Barca fuels the construction industry. Risking injury or death, they carry heavy loads for meager earnings, €20 for 2 weeks' work. "We do it to feed our children," Salid says. The sand supplies cheap concrete blocks, generating significant profits for companies but little for the workers. Santa Luzia, an uninhabited island, is a critical nesting ground for loggerhead turtles but has become a dumping ground for global plastic waste. Biosfera, an environmental group, organizes annual cleanups, collecting 60 tons of debris each year. "It's overwhelming," coordinator Leela says, noting that ocean currents bring waste from as far as Malaysia and Saudi Arabia. Despite challenges, their efforts have helped boost turtle populations.